Hello once again. Welcome once more to the Northworthy Sagas and Stories channel. This is a story concerned with the most mischievous of all the ancient gods of the North, the god named Loki the Trickster. Now Loki, like many of the gods themselves, was partly of giant birth. And he was a friend to the gods to begin with, but later on he became evil. His parents were Farbauti and Laufey. Farbauti, his father, his name means cruel smiter, a nickname which describes the lightning flashing in the sky. His mother, Laufey, her name means leafy island. Again, the poet's name for a tree. And as we know, when lightning strikes a tree, fire can result. And so it's no surprise that Loki himself had a fiery disposition. And as I've said, when he was a friend to the gods, when he was tamed and under control, then he was of great help to them. But finally, when he ran rampant, then he destroyed all before him. Loki had a wife. Her name was Sigyn, and between them they had a son. His name was Narfi. A good-looking young man, very much like his father, for Loki was pleasing and handsome in appearance, at least to begin with, before time and fate left their mark upon him. But Loki, sad to say, was not always true to his wedding vows. And there came a time when he was not seen in Asgard for many long months. First 6, then 9, then 12 in all went by. His wife and son were concerned, and they went to Odin, the All-Father, to see if he could find the whereabouts of Loki, god of mischief. So Odin sent out his 2 ravens, Hugin and Munin, mind and memory. One flies as fast as the speed of thought itself. The other remembers all it sees. They flew out all across the 9 worlds of men and women, gods, goddesses, giants, elves and dwarves, even into the land of the dead. And then at last they came to a certain place in Giant Land, where, outside a great hall, they saw Loki playing with his 3 children, with a giantess nearby. The ravens returned to the land of the gods and reported what they've seen. We've seen Loki Laufeyarson there in Jotunheim, Giant Land, they said to the All-Father. He was there with a giantess, and you can tell they were more than friends. And what's more, they had 3 children with them. Each one of them was a terrible monster. I'm sure this will be of great concern to you, most noble Odin. So Odin sent for Loki and his children, had them brought to Asgard, and he called a council of the gods. And when the gods sat there together, and they saw the offspring that Loki had spawned, then they quaked in their boots, for these children were terrible indeed. There was Jormungand, the huge monster, the great serpent, Midgard's Orm, the Middle-earth worm. A snake so huge, he encircles the whole world, holding his tail between his fangs. There was his brother, an enormous wolf, Fenrir, the fen dweller. Already he was growing in size, and it was easy to see that when the wolf had reached adulthood, when his jaws opened, they would scrape the sky itself. And their sister, Hela, was terrible to behold. Half her body was alive, but half of it was blue-black, rotting and decaying, the colour of death. Now the gods, they consulted the runes. They cast the sticks upon the ground. They listened to prophecies. They even spoke with the dead to learn all that they could of what the future held for Loki's progeny. And they discovered that the wolf would eat Odin, that the serpent would be the death of Thor, god of thunder, on the final day that men call Ragnarok, doom of the gods, the end of the worlds. And while they had no wish for this to happen, the gods knew that they could not kill the creatures there in Asgard, for one drop of their blood would defile that sacred ground and would hasten the day of doom that much more quickly. So Odin, he took the serpent and he cast it out into the world of ocean that encircles the wide Middle-earth, the orb of the world, and it sank down onto the seabed, tail between its fangs, and remains there, except for the time when Thor calls it fishing, until the day of doom. And as for Hela, Odin knew what to do with her. He took her 9 days' ride, northwards and downwards, into the 9th world itself, into Niflhel, or Misty Hell, a cold, bleak landscape of rime and freezing winds. And in the heart of it was her kingdom, Helheim, the abode of the dead, where cowards, thieves and murderers go when they die. Her hall is there. The walls are woven from living serpents. Their venom drips from their fangs on all those who've died either a coward's death or of sickness or old age, wade through streams of freezing poison. Outside, the river called Cussing. There, by the strand of corpses, you can hear the sound of sword blades clashing in the water. And not far off, the dragon called Hateful Hacker gnaws upon the bones of those who have become its meal. But there was one more of Loki's children to deal with, and this one was much more of a problem. This was the great wolf Fenrir, the fen dweller, who grew in size every day. And to begin with, although the gods knew what a danger he presented, they had no idea of what to do with the great wolf. But that is another story, and that'll be part 2. For now, that's the end of this one. Thank you for watching. Please click on the notification bell. Thank you.